So, thanks for joining me if you're watching this live stream. It's my first live stream in a couple of years. I wanted to come on here just to be available to you, to answer some questions, to talk about different themes in health, to talk about things that I'm looking at, and just really to support the community that is part. This channel is a community, so I thought I'd focus tonight on. It's 7 o'clock in the evening in Dublin. I don't know where you're watching from, but maybe you could just put in the chat what city, what country are you watching from. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a little bit my story, how I got into herbal medicine and why heart health now is so important to me. And of course, that's obvious with my age and being a male. And this channel, this live stream is about male health, heart health for men over 50, which is me. So I'm going to cover some of the different supplements and herbs that I use. I'll keep it brief, about 15 minutes. So if anyone's watching it when it's not live, at least it's you get the main information. So we have Ayurveda Dublin there is watching from Dublin. Thank you, Ayurveda Dublin. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your comment. So I started thinking more about heart health when on my father's side, my uncle Paddy was having heart problems in his early 60s. He had a few heart attacks and eventually died around the age of 64. So going to funerals and saying that we're going to eat healthy, we're going to not have any more fries and meats and so forth. And then going back to the norm, and then another funeral. My Uncle Tom, who was 69, died age 69 in 93. He had angina, hardening of the arteries, which is a common problem today. And then I began to take it more seriously after a friend of mine, Joe Lucy, died age 47 of an aneurysm, which is connected to the cardiovascular system. And I decided to study herbal medicine as just something to keep my focus positive, and also to, I suppose I had always been exploring natural ways to look at health, but I began to take it more seriously. And 4 years later, I qualified in 2012. I suppose I felt I knew a lot and I was practicing it on myself. But as years passed, health practitioners don't always look after their own health. So I obviously maybe put on a bit of weight, didn't check my cholesterol often enough. My cholesterol increased until I started getting a bit concerned last year. Did a few blood tests, particularly one on last September. We went to my GP and it was 6.1. And my GP wanted to put me onto statins straight away. The 6.1 it's high, but it's not extremely high. It's under, high would be 6.5. But I felt, no, I'd like to do it naturally. So in rejecting statins, I went on a more rigorous heart health regime, exercising more, looked at herbs, supplements, studied a bit. There's a great channel, Dr. Ford Brewer, learned a lot from him. From the traditional herbal medicine, lots of really good herbs like hawthorn, especially. It's a classic Irish heart remedy going back over 100 years. With a lot of evidence in the tradition. So lots of good herbs and supplements and mushrooms. So I'll talk about them individually, but I I began to bring my cholesterol down, but very slow. Some things were working better than others. Some weren't so good. But eventually, I got it down last April to 4.8. So I got my cholesterol down from 6.1 to 4.8, which was 6 months' work, really worth the effort. Protect your health, particularly men. So that gave me a lot of confidence. I've seen a few more join the live there. If you're joining, just say hello in the comments where you're from. And that'd be nice to know where you're from. Say hello. So I made a video, it's on my channel, my journey for heart health and the supplements that I'm taking. So you can watch that. But I thought I'd share this live to focus particularly on heart health, because heart health, men are not great at looking after their health. The macho image, is to be strong and, not to be vulnerable, not to be weak. So men who don't look after their health because, falling into that macho pattern. But our health is our wealth. Our health is everything. And without health, we have very little. So I really encourage men to get your cholesterol checked once or twice a year. You can go to a private clinic, or you can go to your GP, your medical service, and keep a track on cholesterol, keep it low, because the problem isn't really just the numbers, it's the cumulative effect on the cardiovascular system. And that cumulative effect is really what causes heart disease. It's the wear and tear of the arteries, hardening of the arteries, firstly, angina. As the arteries harden, the arteries are supposed to be soft and supple. Whereas they harden, they become really tight and restricted. And then inflammation can cause further restriction. But if you have a buildup of plaque on the inside of the arteries and you have this tightening on the outside, then blood flow is going to be restricted. And when blood can't flow, it leads to heart attack, particularly in the heart area, the arteries around the heart. So by protecting your heart early, by maintaining healthy heart regime, with herbs, lifestyle, nutrition, food, exercise, all the things I'm going to talk about, you are protecting your heart into the future. But not just protecting your heart, you're protecting your brain health as well. So heart health and brain health are connected, because our overall health system we're a holistic health system. So it's all connected, but a very important relationship between the brain and the heart in terms of neurological disorders like dementia and so forth. So as I said, my journey into this is personal. My father died at age 62 in 1997, and I was too young to die. And I thought, when I get a chance, I look after my health, use natural approaches. And so far it's worked, because I feel better than ever. I'm 58 now. My cholesterol is down. It's around 5 at the moment. But physically, I feel much better. The motivation to exercise. Hi, Christian. Good evening. Where are you watching from, Christian? To look after your heart is to look after your overall health. You feel better, more energy, particularly because I'm more focused now on exercise. Every day I exercise for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening. And that is really strengthening my overall health. It's keeping my weight down, which has a knock-on effect on lowering cholesterol. You can't lower cholesterol without exercise. Exercise is essential to strengthening your heart, your cardiovascular system, your circulation, maintaining good blood pressure, and lowering cholesterol. So it's all interconnected. So you're calling in from Denmark. Lovely. Thanks, Christian. North of Jutland. So my GP wanted me to go on to statins, and I decided not to, but I suppose there wasn't an investigation into natural approaches. It was kind of dismissed as, not your doctor's a very important person. They're key to your health, but they can also give you bad advice. And in my case, my doctor didn't want me to explore natural lifestyle methods, she said, that weren't effective for someone my age. And I've disproven her and disproven a lot of people who don't believe that natural approaches work. And that's the problem with the relationship between the pharmaceutical industry and the medical profession. Is a very strong relationship, and the influence is very strong. So in the medical system, you're going to get a medical approach. And outside of the medical system, in the natural healing world, acupuncture, reflexology, herbal medicine, massage, energy healing, and all the different types of treatments will be dismissed as not having evidence base or not being effective. But they are effective because the evidence is the tradition of hundreds, if not thousands of years, in some cases, some plants. Acupuncture is going back 1,000 years or longer. So that's the tradition, that's the evidence. The evidence is there, it works, and that has been passed on from generation to generation. So I'm glad I under pressure, I still trusted my tradition of herbal medicine, particularly garlic. I'm taking garlic capsules, but I take a lot of garlic in food. But garlic is key to any heart health regime. It helps to improve circulation and overall good for the heart. What's also important is magnesium, CoQ10, and this hawthorn. So I take the three of these combined. Hawthorn, obviously, a herb, an amazing herb. Both the blossom and the berry are very powerful effects on the heart. And so this is combined. Obviously, I'm taking supplements to boost my heart health, but every year I collect hawthorn berries and make a tincture, and that keeps me going for about 6 months. Make a kind of a syrup of tincture. Magnesium and CoQ10 here are also very good for the heart. You're not just talking about lowering cholesterol, you're talking about supporting cardiovascular health by decalcifying the arteries, reducing inflammation, maintaining good healthy blood pressure, good circulation, keeping your weight down, and then having a healthy lifestyle. And of course, buckthorn is one of the omega-3s, or has the omegas, the 7 different omega fatty acids. So a powerful anti-inflammatory, reduces inflammation and nurtures the cardiovascular system. You can get it in capsule form or in liquid form, as I have it there. Vitamin D3 and K2. Again, I'm just boosting my heart health with these, but you can get them you can get these vitamins in foods, particularly, I have my notes here, in D3 in salmon, and K2 in natto, which is fermented soybeans, and any other types of fermented foods like sauerkraut or kimchi would be also very good sources of K2, which keeps the arteries supple and helps to, reduce the calcification of the arteries, which hardens the arteries. I also took the mushrooms, shiitake and maitake. They also have evidence for supporting the overall cardiovascular system, the meridians, and reducing cholesterol. At different times, I've monitored my cholesterol over 2 years now. I've taken different supplements at different times. I haven't got berberine here, but berberine I take it in a powder form, has been one of the most effective herbs for me. You can use red rice yeast, which is a particular yeast that grows on, it's used to ferment rice and it turns the rice red. And that has been shown to have a similar effect to statins. But it hasn't worked for me. And I take creatine as well, which is a lot of evidence for creatine for supporting energy, metabolism, overall heart health, and particularly brain health. So they're my main go-to supplements and herbs. If you have any questions, drop them there in the chat. I haven't a lot more to cover. Just wanted to test out being live and provide a bit of support to the community. These sessions are more personal, more open, and just questions people might have, more access to me, and explore what's going on in the world of health. And I suppose I will have, more time to answer questions. We don't have any questions in the chat, so I think I've covered everything I want to cover. I'm making more content now for my YouTube channel, so I'm continuing on that, working on a video at the moment. It'll be up at the weekend, or that'll be next week, on passion flower for anxiety. So I'll be focusing a lot on mental health, as I always have, but I'll be covering all aspects of health, trying to experiment with content. And I've enjoyed this YouTube channel, so it's good to be back. And thanks for watching if you're watching it live. If you're not watching it live, thanks for joining in, and see you in a live stream soon. So thanks for being here. Take care. Bye-bye.